Hello viewers and welcome. We have here an absolutely insano race with the Lamborghini Aventador, 739 horsepower with standard supercar brakes. Really heavy. It's like over 3,300 pounds, almost 3,400 pounds at Road Atlanta, which is a phenomenal track, which I love immensely, but it's crazy. You got turn one, which is like, don't go wide, and then you got, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Super fun. Love this track. Car turned out to be really cool, except the dashboard. It's a bit of a thing, honestly. I'm assuming it's a completely computerized display, but does it really do that? Check this out. The dashboard is like weird. Does it really do that in real life? Gen X Racer just wrote, Lance Stroll is the best F1 driver of all time. Is that why he has failed out of qualifying 75 times? All right, here we go, folks. 15 laps, no pits required. Go like crazy. As you can see, there's absolutely no way I can see through my back window, so I am relying on a little tiny mirror to see when the people are going to come up behind me and try to kill me. The Aventador is an unbelievably powerful car with meh brakes, as I mentioned, and handles fairly well, but you have to respect it, which is to say you have to realize it weighs 3,367 pounds, and although it's got big brakes, they don't slow it down nearly as well as you would like. So braking at the right point is essential. I actually did a bunch of research into this race prior to this to make sure I had the braking points nailed. The key online on YouTube almost always has a guide before each of the Nations Cup and Manufacturing Cup races to give you an idea of where to brake, where to turn, how to get the most out of your qualifying lap, and they're extremely helpful. I highly recommend them. So, sitting second, started second with Garthaniel behind me, Harry Skell, or whatever the heck behind him, Graveyard Worker and Dimebag, Dr. Killjoy, Gen X Racer, but Gem 562 out in front, and he's quick. You see, I'm gone defensive into this. I'm like, nah, I do not want to give you that spot, and I'm just trying to keep it as clean as possible. Keep myself pointing in the right direction. So I'm hyper focused. I'm like totally locked in here. People on chat are watching this and wondering if I've completely forgotten about them, but I did mention something once in a while, but I was just really hyper focused to make sure I didn't screw up, because we had just done this as a daily B the week prior in GT4 cars, and you get used to those braking points and it becomes habit, and then you get into this car and suddenly the braking points are, well, for example, the braking point right here is here versus here for the GT4 car, and it doesn't turn as well, it doesn't accelerate as smoothly, there's no downforce to speak of, so I had to be really focused to make sure I didn't mess anything up. Coming in through turn 9, 10 is absolutely essential because of the fact that it leads onto the longest straight on the track, and so I was making sure I came out of there as well as possible. People behind me are kind of getting a little bit fighting, so I've got a little bit of space. Again, check behind, forgot that I can't see. With Gem scooting off into the distance. I somehow ended up with a purple sector, so I'll take it. Turning into the final chicane. Get on the gas carefully so you don't go wide. Being four-wheel drive, it has a tendency to understeer as you go through each of the various places when you're giving it a lot of gas. And you got to make sure you let off the gas on that final turn or you're going to go wide. Braking a whole lot earlier for this than you normally would. And again, gentle, feather in the throttle, make sure you don't give it too much all at once. I'm just trying to respect this beast of a car and keep it going the right way. Fast forwarding to lap 5, and you can see at this point Gem 562 is now pretty much 4 seconds ahead of me, so he's obviously quick. He's got a better handle on this track than I do, but I'm keeping ahead of Garthaniel and Harry, and as far as I'm concerned, that's my race. Jim can go do his thing. He's going to win this race. I'm happy with second place. I started second. If I finish second, I'm a happy camper. But you can see Garthaniel is really close. I got to get out of this corner super fast. Did okay. Managed to keep ahead of him, but he's gaining. So I'm like, okay. I don't know what the slipstream's like in this race. I didn't bother to look into it, but he is slowly gaining, and I'm just thinking, I'm hoping he doesn't get close enough to do anything crazy, like a dive bomb, but he's not, and he didn't. Very respectable driver. I was very, very happy for that. And I came through the final chicane quite well, and so did he. So it's a good, tight race between the two of us. Into lap 5. I'm still most of 4/10 ahead, and Jem is still 4 seconds ahead of me. So up to lap 7, and you can see now that Garthaniel is less than a quarter of a second behind me. So I'm dead silent on stream, locked in completely to make sure I don't do anything stupid. He's flashing his lights behind me and everything else, but it didn't do him any good because, well, he went for a meeting with Barry R. At this point, Jem is over 5.5 seconds ahead of me, but now I have at least got some breathing space behind me to Harry. You know, we're fast forwarding again to lap 12, and you can tell I love those fade transitions. At this point, Jem's lead has gone from 5.3 seconds to 3.3 seconds, and I don't know if he's having troubles or if he's just taking it easy. Maybe he wants to let me catch up, so it's a bit more of an interesting race, but I'm more than happy to do so. And so for these last 3 laps, 2.5, 3.5, I'm thinking, do I have a chance of winning this race? Because I'm slowly reeling him in, and I don't know if he's getting tired or if it's just having one of those days or if he's just getting a little bit lax, because let's face it, I mean, he's 3.5 seconds ahead of me. Coming over the hill to the end of lap 12, and it's a 3.1 second lead, 3.1, 3.2. Then 3 seconds. Through turn 1, keeping everything as clean as I can, and we're now under 3 seconds, and I'm quite seriously gaining on him. 2.8, 2.9, but definitely I've got potentially enough time. If I can keep taking the tenths off, I've got a chance of actually overtaking this guy. He says, and then it goes to 3.1 seconds again. But 2.9, 2.8, and I'm just focusing, keeping it as clean as I can, keeping everything on the marks, hitting all the braking points, hitting all the turning points, getting on the accelerator as fast as I can, and just, I'm pushing, but I'm pushing as careful as I can to make sure that everything goes nice and smoothly, you see. Moving up to the beginning of the penultimate lap, and I'm down to about 2.5 seconds behind Jem. This seems to be where he kind of noticed that I was catching him fairly quickly, because he kind of put the jets on, and I guess he got refocused because he started to pull ahead a little bit again. I managed to completely nail that section, though. It was really nice and smooth, which helped tremendously, and I think he bottled turn 8 right here a little bit, because now it's 1.7. And I'm still gaining rather quickly. He's definitely within sight. I'm almost to slipstream range at this point. Well, not quite, but you get the idea. 1.6, coming through turn 10, keeping it nice and sweet on the gas. Holding my own against him at the very least. Moving forward to the end of the lap, and I am now 1.6 seconds behind and catching. Keeping the pressure on, hoping maybe he makes a mistake. I'm definitely catching up, because my time between myself and Harry has increased dramatically, while my time between myself and Jem has decreased dramatically. Fastest lap, that's a good sign. Into turn 1. He definitely has an advantage on me on turn 1. I'm not sure exactly what it is that he's doing differently, but I held my own. Coming through the technical section, and this is definitely becoming one of my stronger points, especially I guess at this point in the race, because like as I said, I'm laser focused. I am not even barely blinking, completely ignoring chat, and just keeping myself on all of the marks, braking points, making sure I can I'm accelerating out of the turns as early, as quickly as I possibly can. He's in sight, and I'm almost in slipstream range almost at this point, so I'm just keeping the pressure on, hoping get out of this corner really, really well and maybe catch up some more. Didn't quite happen. He's definitely got turn 10 nailed as well. The long straight, 1.7 seconds back. We've got the chicane and the hill climb. So I'm not at this point thinking I've really got a chance unless he bottles the chicane. I don't really think I'm necessarily going to win this thing, but completely focused, making sure that I don't make any mistakes. Come over the hill. The ending is the last part of the lap's a bit funny. You got to let off to make sure you get the rotation so you come across the line on the track. But I got to say, that was an absolutely amazing race. Huge shout out to the guys in chat that I ignored for the entirety of that. We have Spyro, Jeff, Madlou Dog, and 9volt. So thank you so much for joining me. You guys were a good fun time to chat with. Apologies for completely ignoring you at the end, but I really wanted to make sure I got that second place. I'm okay with the second. I started that way, I finished that way, and it was a well-earned second, so I was quite happy with that. Well, thank you so very much for watching. If you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed, please feel free to do so. If you like the video, hit the old like button. I'll do all those YouTube things. In the meantime, have yourselves an absolutely awesome day, and I will catch you all next time. Peace.